So, are you just throwing away your money on a new bargain price Fire 7 tablet? Let's take a look. Hi, and welcome to the Gadget Talk channel, where we do reviews and how-tos on a variety of electronic gadgets that catch my eye. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. I really appreciate it. In this video, we're taking a look at the newest model of the Amazon Fire 7 tablet that was released in the fall of 2022. By way of overview, we'll take a quick look at the Fire's main features, some technical specifications, use cases, and my overall assessment for my particular use case. Spoiler alert, I really like it. I've had several tablets over the years, and most have been pretty good. I think that's because I did some research and was honest with myself about how I plan to use the device. I've been using both budget tablets as well as a name brand one pretty regularly for the past 20 years. There are a couple of things you need to be aware of when buying a tablet, whether a big name brand or a budget model. First, my experience is that the first thing to go on a tablet is battery life. After a year or two, they run out of power after less and less time. Unfortunately, most tablets are not designed to have their batteries replaced. Second, with Android tablets and budget models especially, they are unlikely to get upgrades to their operating systems. Unless you are an experienced user in various sideloading techniques, replacing the OS is not something most consumers will want to tackle. The Fire 7, however, advertises OS security updates for at least 4 years after the model is no longer sold as new. That's a big plus in my view. Third, like desktop PCs, newer models will have faster and higher capacity processors. After a couple of years, waiting on your tablet to boot up and load apps will become more and more frustrating as you compare it to your more current smartphone or other Android device. With this in mind, my preference has been to find the most powerful budget tablet and just plan on retiring it at about the 2-year point. Brand name tablets go from $150 to over $700, which is a little steep for me. With newer processors getting faster and faster and batteries still having a service life, I can buy several budget models over several years and still come in under the initial cost of a top-tier tablet. Budget tablets are also less of a loss in case the kids lose it or break it. But, and there's always a but, your use case may make a big difference. If you're using your tablet for business and can write off the expense, or if you're a big-time gamer or video content creator who needs the speed and power, an expensive tablet may be your best bet. Assuming that's not the case, let's jump into the fire, so to speak. Amazon has several sizes of tablets and updates them fairly regularly. I was looking for something a bit bigger than my phone, but not so big that it was awkward to take along when going out. Since the Fire 7 was newly upgraded and fit my size requirement, it was my choice. Let's look at a couple of features and some specs. The Fire 7 comes both in a 16 gigabyte and a 32 gigabyte version. Those numbers refer to internal or built-in storage. Unlike some tablets, it also has a micro SD card slot where you can mount up to a 1 terabyte micro SD card. This model upped the RAM from 1 gigabyte to 2 and upgraded the processor to a quad-core processor they claim is 30% faster than the previous Fire 7. After using it for a couple of months, I find the battery life is excellent, and when used as an e-reader or a YouTube streamer, the 10-hour battery life claim seems reasonable. As I mentioned before, fading battery life is a problem with tablets of all kinds, and the difference between the Fire 7 and the tablet I was retiring was noticeable. There are a couple of things you need to be aware of when thinking about an Amazon device and a more generic Android tablet. Some of these aren't a big deal, but some might be a deal breaker. Part of the low price is that Amazon uses the Fire as a gateway into the Amazon ecosystem. First, the low price comes with a cost too. That cost is the fact that Amazon's lowest price versions come with an ad-supported splash page. That basically means that the tablet turns on with an ad instead of a generic wallpaper or user-defined photo. The ad goes away as soon as you enter your PIN, so it's not a big deal. You can pay for a non-ad version, but for me, it's just not worth it. Most of the ads I get are for games or Kindle books, so it's easy to just look right past them. Next, the Fire runs on the Fire OS, not Android. The Fire OS is built on the Android operating system, but is slightly different. Again, for the casual user, this is not a big deal either, but something you should be aware of. I had a Fire tablet a couple of years ago, and one of the things I didn't like about it was that the user interface was a bit clunky. It was enough different from my Android phone and other Android devices that it took some time to figure out. I'm not sure when that changed, but the new Fire 7's UI is very similar, if not exactly like generic Android. That means you will navigate Fire just like you do any other Android device. The downside to this, and this might be a deal breaker for some, is that the Fire devices can't access Google services. That means the Play Store and other Google services are not available on the Fire. However, Amazon has its own app store that has many of the same apps that are available on the Play Store. You may want to check to see if you have a must-have app to make sure that it's available for your Amazon Fire. I'm not sure whether it's Google or Amazon that's the cause of this limitation, but for the new Fire user, that may come as a surprise. Techies can add Google services by messing with the operating system, but for most, the risk of messing up the device is not worth the lack of Google services, especially if you already use an Android smartphone. Now, let's chat a bit about some use cases and how the Fire 7 may or may not be your best choice. First, while I'm not a gamer, the research I've done, however, shows that the Fire 7 is pretty good at basic computer games, but it comes up a bit short when playing games with high-intensity graphics. If you're planning to use the Fire 7 for gaming, look at a couple of other reviews that focus on that use case to help you decide if the Fire will work for you. So, how about video streaming and YouTube? I find the Fire 7 does a good job with these two tasks. The Fire screen is clear, and while I didn't measure things like how fast pixels refresh and other technical aspects, I found the screen colors were sharp and the images from streaming services and YouTube were clear. The 7-inch size does cut down the screen's resolution a bit. It's listed as having a resolution of 1024 by 600. When I started my research that led me to the Fire 7, I was primarily focused on using something this size as an e-reader. You've basically got two choices. One is a Kindle-style e-reader with a grayscale display that looks very much like the page of a book. They have LED illumination around the edge of the display that illuminates the screen from the top or the viewing side. These devices are great for outside use as the sun doesn't wash out the display. Since I don't find myself reading outside while waiting for kids' sports practices or at the beach, that benefit wasn't a big deal for me. Dedicated e-readers are not very good at things like web surfing or other internet tasks. In one sense, they're a one-trick pony. On the other hand, if you're primarily interested in an e-reader and don't want the temptation to chase rabbits around the internet, a dedicated e-reader might be your best choice. That being said, if you're looking for the features of an e-reader as well as an internet device, you're likely going to find a tablet works better. I find the Kindle app works great on the Fire 7, and the power usage and the sleep feature it has results in my reading more than before. That and the 3-month free trial offer for Kindle Unlimited. Being able to pick up the device and have it instantly available makes it easier to read without dreading a long device boot up process. This is in part due to a very inexpensive case that I'll link to in the description. A magnet in the case's cover signals the 7 to go to sleep when closed and turn on when opened. That's pretty cool. The case also provides mishap protection. I'm on my second case as my dog decided to go after the Fire 7. The case was chewed up pretty bad, but my Fire was unharmed. There are apps in the Amazon App Store for streaming services like Hulu, Netflix, and even YouTube. Just keep in mind this bargain level tablet has only one small speaker, so audio certainly isn't going to be surround sound. However, the Fire 7 does come with both a stereo headphone jack and Bluetooth connectivity. As with most small tablets, the Fire 7 also comes with both front and rear-facing cameras. Now, the specs aren't that great, but they're more than capable for video calls and Zoom meetings. Let's wrap this up with two more quick comments. First is that the Fire 7 is Alexa compatible. You can use the Smart Assistant as you would with any Alexa device. You can use your voice to open apps, play music, and other things Alexa does. I have several Echo devices and Fire TV sticks at my home, and the tablet integrated easily with all of them. If you've been captured by the Amazon Echo system, the Fire tablet fits right in. Second, the Fire series of tablets have kid-friendly features and controls. You can set up kid profiles to limit screen time and set parental controls. There's also a separate Amazon Kids Plus subscription with more kid-friendly content. While the case I linked to below is a great, simple case for older kids and adults, you can also get extra protective kid cases for your Fire 7. They provide extra protection if you're getting your tablet for a young child. Speaking of protection, the Amazon warranty for their Fire tablets is only 90 days. Since you're buying this on Amazon and the price is pretty low, the multi-year product protection plan for a Fire might be worth a few extra dollars. I think I got 2 years of extra protection for just under $8. All in all, I've been pleased with my Fire 7. For me, it was the right tool for the right use case. Most of the things I've mentioned also apply to other sized Fire tablets too. So, if you decide you want a larger screen size, Besides that larger screen and possibly processor capacity, these feature sets will still apply. As always, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel and click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.